You ever see one of those viral videos that's just so cleverly put together? It sucks you in with a situation that feels super real, and then bam, it just completely flips the script on you? Well, today, we're going to break down one of the best I've seen in a while. It all kicks off with this one single explosive question between a couple. So, here's the big question, right? Is sharing a password like a necessary part of love? It's the kind of thing that can start a major fight in pretty much any relationship. I mean, should you have access to your partner's phone? Is it a sign of trust, or is it a total invasion of privacy? That's the super loaded idea right at the heart of the drama we're about to get into. Okay, so the scene starts out in a super familiar way. You've got a couple just relaxing at home, everything seems totally peaceful and normal. But that peace, yeah, it gets shattered in an instant when the guy sees a message pop up on his partner's phone. He makes this one demand that just completely changes the entire mood in the room. On the surface, his demand seems pretty simple, right? Tell me what's the password. But his tone says it all. It is not a casual question. He wants access to her phone, and he wants it now. And this seemingly small request is the tiny spark that's about to ignite a massive fire. And her response is immediate, and it is firm. She just flat out refuses. But she's smart about it. She frames it not like she's hiding something, but as a matter of her own personal choice. And boom, just like that, the battle lines are drawn. This isn't just about a password anymore. Oh no, it's about boundaries, it's about personal space. And this is where things really start to escalate. Fast. That one little request, it just spirals into this full-blown argument. We've moved way past simple curiosity here. Now we're into a heavy-duty debate about trust, about rights, and, the very foundation of their entire relationship.
So you can see how the arguments just get more and more intense. He starts by questioning her trust, "Don't you trust me?" And then he escalates it, claiming he has a right to know. He even throws in the fact that he bought her the phone, using it as leverage. But she is not having it. She doesn't back down for a second. She counters every single point, always bringing it back to her personal choice and her right to a private life. I mean, her line about a gift not giving him ownership of her privacy? So clever.
And then the fight hits its absolute climax. He's totally frustrated, he's backed into a corner, and so he lays down the final ultimatum. He basically says, "Give me the password or we're done." I mean, the stakes just shot through the roof. It really truly feels like you're watching a real, painful breakup happening right in front of you. So, right at this moment, you think you know exactly where this is going, right? It's a classic, sad, dramatic breakup. But just when you're sure of it, the entire story gets flipped completely on its head. Everything you just saw, it's about to mean something totally different. She hits him with one last furious line, "Forget about it now." Basically telling him to keep the phone, and she just storms off. I mean, from the outside looking in, it looks like the absolute worst case scenario. The fight's over, and so is the relationship, all because of a stupid password. But was it really? Was all of that drama, all the yelling, the ultimatum, was it really about a phone password? Or was there something else going on behind the scenes? And here it is, the brilliant reveal. The answer is no. It wasn't a real fight at all. That whole super emotional, high-stakes showdown, it was a complete act, a perfectly staged performance for a very, very specific audience. Okay, so if they weren't actually fighting with each other, who is that whole performance for? Well, this is where we get to the real genius of their little plan. Let me introduce you to the real villain of this story, the Barboli, which basically means the super talkative, nosy neighbor. I think we all know the type, right? The person who, as they put it so perfectly in the skit, will stand at your gate and just eat your brain for an hour. That was the person they were so desperate to get away from. And their plan was just genius because of how simple it was. Step 1, the nosy neighbor shows up at the gate. Step 2, they immediately launch into this loud, totally fake fight about the password. The whole goal was to make the situation so dramatic and uncomfortable that the neighbor would just feel awkward and, quietly leave them alone. And you know what? It worked perfectly, like a charm. The second the neighbor is gone, the act is over. You hear him just breathe this huge sigh of relief, saying, "Thank God she's gone, or she would have chewed my brain for an hour." So yeah, mission accomplished. And that right there is what makes this skit so brilliant. It takes something that's a real, often painful, and super common fight in relationships, the whole password thing, and it just flips it. It turns it into a social defense mechanism, a tool they can use to get rid of a totally different but just as common annoyance. It's such a relatable problem, solved with this hilariously creative strategy.
So it kind of leaves you with a funny thought, doesn't it? The next time you need a quick escape from someone you don't want to talk to, hey, maybe a little fake drama is the way to go. It makes you wonder, what's your go-to plan for ditching a long, unwanted conversation? Anyway, thanks for diving into this awesome skit.